We're gonna go ahead and start this city study session for November 24th, 2020 at 6:02. Okay, so we'll start with the old business. So first, we're gonna talk a little bit about the solar system application with Apollo that we was discussing and the packet that everybody got from Apollo last time about the solar, about the solar panels and the solar system for the wastewater treatment plant. So they sent us a request for proposal. So we could, I think this is the request that so they can start submitting applications and stuff for, let's see, for the solar project to start. Yeah, it's the very first, it's right at the very beginning. So under the study section, it's the third page. It says request for proposal. Well, no, maybe the next page. Are you in the study session or council?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm in the council.
Don't be confusing me.
There we are. Okay, I see it.
Everybody got it? So they're just sort of going through what would have to be done, what needs to be done for this project, and the scope. They told us last time about all the financing part of it. They guarantee the price, they guarantee what they tell us, and if it goes over, they actually reimburse us for that. Is that pretty much what?
No, if it goes over, they don't charge us.
Right. They eat it.
Yeah.
Is what he said. So, which is good. Do you ladies have anything to jump in on this about?
No, we just wanted to show you the example of the.
So what's the price again? And we have to come up with this?
No.
No.
We'll apply for all the grants and all that stuff before. And them are the prices that they feel that they can get from the money for the applications for the grants that they're going to be applying for.
Apollo's gonna apply or we're gonna apply? I think we're applying.
Apollo, well, we do it together, right? Yeah,
okay.
we do it all together.
Oh, okay.
But this is just the request for proposals, so we have to select Apollo as the vendor after this goes out. So whoever our vendor that is selected will be the one that applies for those.
So we do have to advertise,
Right, for bid.
Oh, gotcha. Because we only have one proposal right now, right?
Correct.
Okay. yeah.
Right. Do you guys have any questions on it? TD, you're way down there.
I know.
You are very safe tonight. Okay.
Wake me up if I go to sleep.
Okay, so if we don't have anything on that, we'll just go ahead and continue to B, which is the surplus policy for the public surplus. That's going to be on page 8.
No.
no, there's no information regarding that. We just met, remember, by phone there.
Oh, yes.
So it was just put here to advise you that we are going to start surplusing all of our items through publicsurplus.com. So everything that you guys do the ordinance to surplus will all be listed through publicsurplus.com on public auction.
Was it the car list that we had last time?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the first ones that we're gonna do.
Oh, okay.
We just wanted to let you know how we were going to dispose of everything going forward. That's gonna be our policy
Oh, okay.
all the time to use publicsurplus.com.
And there's a lot of cities that use this public surplus.com. So it's pretty
And I think the chief was happy about the outcome.
Oh, yeah. I was really happy my car wasn't listed on there.
You're welcome.
That was my favorite part.
Planning on doing this.
Right away.
Yeah.
Schedule.
Yeah.
But then everything should be posted by the first week of December, hopefully. And then we can select how many days we want the options to run for, 14 or 30 days, whatever we decide.
And
And
we'll
then-
also post that on the website on the police department.
But
Yeah.
at least
We'll post
public-
it on the website so people are aware, maybe even up on our board. We can get it up
Yeah,
on
there
the
you
board.
go. How about the city website, not
We
just
can
the
do that
PD
too.
website?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we-
So the city surplus for everything, not just the PD stuff, right?
Correct.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, like some of these old windows that's coming out of here, we could probably surplus those and get, 50, 60, $100 per window because they're old frame windows and lots of collectors are looking for those. Some of them are sort of, you can't use them for windows, but plenty of decoration and stuff. Okay, so.
So basically, we don't have anything on that, just letting us know we're going through public
That's
service
all
stuff.
business.
Okay.
Yep. So the next thing we're going to talk about, do we have anything else on that? Okay, so we'll keep going. So now we're going to talk about the grant application for the park and ride. That's not in here, right? Okay.
Just letting us know that you guys submitted it.
Right, so we did submit the thing for the grant application for the park and ride. If we get it, we're still gonna have about a 35, Jameson, $1,000 match on that park and
I believe it's 60,000.
60,000.
They were looking at applying for other funding
Right,
options. too.
so we are looking for other funding and actually something just come across my computer last night and I sent it up to G&O because there's a whole bunch of funding that the state has now for the roads and to help with side issues on roads and stuff. So I sent that to them. There's about 3 different places we're gonna be applying for that 60,000
For our match.
for our match. Any questions on that? Okay, next thing we'll talk about is the contract for engineering services with Grant Osborne. We adopted that contract back in October 27th, but there was a few things on the contract that wasn't okay with our insurance company. So if you guys remember, you said we'll sign that after the corrections have been made to that. So now our attorney and our insurance company is good with that contract now. And so now it's ready for you guys to approve it. Yeah. Anybody have questions on that? So we'll keep going on to our new business. So there was a proclamation that was sent. It's actually in our council packet and it's page 41 in the actual council packet. So if you guys wanna just take a look at it. Yeah, and then I'll read it out loud at council.
Oh, okay.
Okay, at the council, I'll read it out loud for the record. Pretty much what it is asking us to make a proclamation for the Mapton School Choice Week from January 24th to the 30th. And
What is choice week?
it just says in here, it recognizes the important roles the effective education plays. And, it's just different things that's all education based. They recognize some teachers, educational varieties. And they asked if I would be willing to sign this, the city be willing to take part of this proclamation for the school district.
That's what the paragraph says. Choice week is celebration.
And that's correct, so it's the entire school district. not just-
You guys have any questions on that? Okay, so, we're gonna discussion of ordinance 2020-1164, closing the funds 602, 603, 605, and establishing a fund for 501. Jameson, you wanna cover that?
Yeah, this establishing Fund 501 is just officially establishing the city's equipment replacement fund that we've been talking about through the budget process. So that's the fund that we're gonna put money into in order to save up for equipment and vehicle replacement over time so that we can actually get those on a schedule for replacing. And then the funds 602, 603, and 605 are old funds that have just been opened with the city for when we used to have a court. There was a special park fund at one point, and the transportation benefit district used to be separate from our street fund, but you guys absorbed it. So this is just the paperwork part of getting those funds off of our books and establishing the equipment replacement fund.
So the park fund is gonna be included now in this 501? You said you had a
There-
park fund and
There was a park fund that was established for, I believe,
A new park.
playground
for the
equipment
playground
and stuff like
equipment,
that.
right, and that fund did its job. It was
We have
there,
other parks, I think that Vera wanted to cost money and she's still to do. other
and
parks.
that goes into the general fund and under park donations. That
Oh,
fund
okay.
that was set up was specifically
Just for
for
that part,
the
for that?
Seahawk
Okay.
playground, something, I'm not sure, but the fund itself was already closed. We're just trying to do the paperwork wise, so we have all of our ducks in a row.
Can I ask a question about that park thing? You should ask later.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The canopy things that supposedly we donated for that project.
The canopy that goes over the thing?
No.
Or the ones
Increase
for
the
the,
There has to be more canopy.
the ones to go over the,
Well,
picnic table?
supposedly it was for the picnic table, but the girl who did this said it took over the playground. No, I didn't think so, but that's what she's,
No, they're
that's
for
what she
the,
thinks it's supposed to be, so somebody could contact her and let her know that it wasn't for that, because now we could cover the playground equipment.
no, because there's already a cover on the playground.
Yeah, supposed to be for the shelters that
The
were the
shelters,
picnic tables, right?
correct.
Okay.
And they'll probably be put in next spring.
Well, yeah, you can't do it right now, winter's coming,
Yeah.
there's been all
And
kinds
we
of
wanted to
construction.
get the park done,
Well, I know,
first, so,
yeah,
um,
can't do that with you doing sprinklers and all that.
So that'll probably happen sometime.
But if
next
someone
spring.
can contact her and let her know.
Okay.
So she seems to think it's supposed to be old, this playground equipment.
Yeah, and all of that stuff we have out at the wastewater.
We do have it,
Yeah, it's all
just
out.
haven't been put up because we don't have everything. yet. Okay.
Any more discussion on the closing of the accounts? You guys okay with that? Next, we're gonna discuss ordinance 2020-1165 for the final budget of 2021.
So this is just an ordinance that you'll need to pass following our final budget hearing
And that's
Um,
tonight.
that we have tonight to actually approve the budget for fund year 2021.
Because we do have a public hearing for this.
We'll have the numbers to go look at. Is it in this book that you just gave us?
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, the little packet you have to put in it.
Yeah, the actual ordinance is on your council packet, page 43 and 44, and that has the actual appropriation numbers there as well.
Oh,
But all those numbers are backed up in your budget binder. For all the information. And I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has or that anybody has on the budget. If you guys wanted to ask those now or at the hearing, that's totally fine. Or if everybody's cool with it.
all right, I just have a question. Are we balancing out? Do we have enough money coming in for what we have to pay out? Did you-
Yeah,
You did? Okay.
we are not going bankrupt.
Okay.
We do have those funds that have historically, for several years been
right.
upside down, but yeah, we have money in the bank to pay our bills, so we are solvent right now.
Yeah, and if you go back from like January 2018 to today, some of those accounts they're doing, but they're climbing nice. So we're still on the hole, but they're climbing. Or not climbing, going down, right? Okay. Next thing, so are we, anybody have questions on the final budget? Okay, so the next thing we'll discuss is the rate increase with Yakima Waste. And Keith is here to sort of go through that with us. Keith?
Okay,
Hey, Rhonda, can you
Yeah.
go up there and
Yes, we
introduce
do.
yourself?
Yeah.
All of them.
That way the camera can see.
Okay, so on page 8 of your study session, it's part of it, okay? And then there's another big part of it. And then the ordinance is on page 45. Go ahead, sorry.
Keith Kovalenko, District Manager of Yakima Waste Systems, here to discuss our 2021 rate increase. This year, there's two pieces to it. You have the disposal component, which is allowed by the contract, and then the CPI. The county, Yakima County Solid Waste Division, you know, they raised the rates. They were gonna raise, back in 2017, they were gonna raise the rates by $6, but the county commissioners only allowed them to do $2 every other year. So we had a $2 increase per ton, my cost, in 2017, 2019, and then this is 2021. It should be the last disposal increase, I would imagine, for a while until they got to build out the transfer station and then start transferring all the waste to Shane, but that might be, 10 years from now or whenever. But this $6 over three increases was to cover their increased cost of operations at the local landfills. So you can see the CPI, is a 1% minimum. And we also are requesting to cover an increase in our B&O tax, which is 0.25%. So the total CPI increase for 2021 would be 1.27%. As you can see, on our rate on a 96-gallon cart, which is what most of the people have, it's only 21 cents a month. It's very, very minimal increase.
Okay, so he's
Do
on
we have
page
that somewhere?
11,
Okay.
page 11 of
Oh,
your
okay, yes, there it is.
of
That's
your
what I was looking for.
study session.
So the overall rate for 96-gallon cart would go up 51 cents based because the disposal fee piece of it is 30 cents. And that 30 cents hasn't changed over the last 3 rate increases, the last 2, because we based that weights on average weight per cart. And it's a rate making schedule used by the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission. And so say 96-gallon cart averages 67 pounds per pickup times 4.33 pickups per month. Basically, 3,500 pounds a year is what they generate. And so on it's almost 2 tons, but it's 1.25 tons. So their fee goes up, not $4 per year, but $3.60 to cover that 3/4 of the $4. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Like I said, that's what all regulated companies use in the state of Washington, the mixed weight fee equations. I know it probably sounds French to you, but it's.
It does.
Yeah. But like I said, hopefully going forward for the next few years, there will just be the annual CPI and no more
You know what?
disposal fee
I
increases.
told you guys wrong. So
Okay.
it's actually in your council packet, page 50. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. The disposal fee increase is just basically a straight pass through for our cost per ton at the landfill per customer. We don't make any money on that, but that's just straight pass through based on the rate making.
So the 96 gallon is going up to $20?
That's with the cities, yeah, with your 20% on top of it, yes.
From 17
Our
to
billing
20.
rate is $17 and you'd be $24.47.
Has the city always charged their portion?
Yes, And that's
it-
what covers our administrative, like Josh for doing the work of his portion of his salary for doing work with garbage. But the current rate with our 20%, I believe is 1987. That's
right
the
now.
number
Okay,
that's popping into my head,
okay.
or 1978.
Yeah, it's just like that. I think it's 78.
Okay, yeah, so it's only actually it's still only
Okay.
a few cents.
Yes, okay.
It's less than $1.
Yes, oh, yeah.
So extra unit, what does that mean? And then
That
for
means that
garbage
people
bags?
have like extra bags outside their tote, because we have to pay per pound at the landfill.
Right,
So every extra, big bag or something that they throw in, we charge for that because, we gotta lift it, plus we have to pay for the disposal of
right.
it.
For every extra bag,
Every extra
Okay.
bag is charged extra, yes.
How much? Rick?
It's right there.
$427 the city cost,
$420, yeah,
or $421, sorry.
$421 with
okay.
the city's 20% on it, yeah. But that's always been in there. Those extra unit charges has always been in there. You can see that's
Yeah.
only going up 7 cents.
I've never used this, but I had a question because I missed garbage day on Veterans Day.
Oh, crap.
I thought you guys had it off.
Oh, no.
But I did.
No. Yeah. No, we take, yes, yeah,
Okay.
you know which one. Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day.
Okay, got it.
It's on our website too, if
Yeah.
you ever want, if you have
Okay.
questions, just go to our website and you
Yeah.
can find that information.
Do you guys have anything for him, Diana? Do you have any questions, Judy?
You,
I don't have any. Both of you have any
I'm
more?
okay, no.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Keith.
Okay, well, thank you for having me down.
Not a problem. Thanks for taking the drive.
Oh,
Alrighty. Okay, the next thing is the Main Street reconstruction project. So we've been working on money for this Main Street project for a while.
Yeah.
And we finally, last Friday was told that the last amount of money, can't remember, was it 300,000 that we needed? Do you remember, Jameson?
Something like that.
And we got that matched last Friday. So we have 100% financed Main Street from Washington all the way to South Street. And then now we'll start working on the finances, try to get the grants from South Street out to the very edge of town to Maple.
Oh, all the way up there.
But I think that construction starts next year. It's gonna be on for next year. We're gonna have a lot going on in the city next year. We got Main Street, we got
It's
Washington
gonna
as
start
well.
next year?
Mhm.
Oh,
And both of them are completely funded, fully funded. So they was gonna do Washington this year, but with the COVID, everything got put back. So they'll do Washington next year as well as Main Street and the well. We're gonna be really busy this next year, doing lots and lots of stuff, so. There is
Are
a,
city guys gonna be able to handle all that extra work? Don't they have to do something when these construction stuff's going on?
no,
No,
it's
okay.
100%
They
paid
do
for.
it
They
all.
do it all.
They do it all, okay.
Mhm. And we should have a design, because you guys,
Well,
I think it was 2000.
the only one who I think who saw the design was the previous mayor. I don't think none of us saw it.
No,
No, I'd like to see it, but.
okay, I'll make sure that,
They told us we were able to see it and do input, but we haven't got to see anything.
well, you're going to now that
Okay.
we're completely funded. So
Okay.
the ball will start rolling really, really fast now, so I'll make sure that he gets that down.
Okay,
As well as the park and ride one, because we're trying to get funding for that. So we have just like a little preliminary sketch
uh-huh.
of what we want it to look
Yeah,
like. So I'll make
okay.
sure that you guys get a copy of that too, so you can see how that's looking as well. Okay, the last thing on this is,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Yeah.
Washington Street is from where to where?
Washington is from Mapton Sunnyside all the way to 7th Street.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
We are putting in to try and get some of our side streets with overlay on them. Some of them are pretty bad and we need to have them replaced, but we're hoping that the government will help us. We're sending a lot of pictures to some of our side streets like Fern and Rose and, I mean, some of
Third
them are really
Avenue
bad.
also,
Third's
yeah,
really bad.
yeah.
Third's really bad too. And we have some sidewalk projects that we're trying to get done too. One of them is a new sidewalk down Monroe and widen that street just a little bit. And I really want to try and work on some type of control with speed on that road.
Yeah, because there's no stops or anything.
And
From
people
there all the way
fly
to
by
the
it.
cemetery road.
Yeah. They fly. So I want to try and figure out something. Gray and Osborne's helping me figure out a way. Can't put a speed bump there because it's a main road.
How about stop sign?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. But we're gonna try and figure that out. If we can get the Safety Routes to School grant to put the sidewalk down First Street.
Excuse me, Mayor,
Yeah.
this isn't on the
Oh, sorry.
agenda.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
Okay, so we'll just keep going. Sorry.
Thank you.
Agenda. Okay.
Let's not put everything on the agenda because we don't see each other about once every 2 months.
Yeah, we can add that.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other questions on the Main Street reconstruction? Okay, so then the last one is the discussion of management contracts for city clerk, city treasurer, and our police chief. So we was going through contracts, and since we have contracted employees, the best thing to do is to have a contract. Right now, every one of our contractors' employees is on a different contract. And so for every reason, really, we really need to think about making one contract for all of our contracted employees, because they're all the same people. They're all contracted employees. And
Don't they have like different jobs descriptions though?
they do, and they do. That part of the job description is sort of different than their actual contract itself. Their contract states how much they're gonna make, how much vacation, what their base raises
And
and
that's
all
all
that.
practically the same, isn't it? Anyway, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
right
Except
now,
for how
the
much they
three-
make.
right now, all the three contracts are different, actually.
They're all
The
different.
chief's has a different percentage than Sylvia's, which has a different percentage than mine. So that's what we were advised. We probably need to get them all the same for going forward.
And so in the very back of your council packet, page 52. So 52 would be the resolution, but past that 53 and on is all three of their contracts.
Oh.
They sort of state the same, but there's a couple of things that's different, like Sylvia pointed out. And so really for the future and for whoever is sitting on this bench, it would be much easier to have all of our contracted employees have pretty much the same contract. Not in the contract of what they do, but if you look, so the chief's contract is the one that the city spent the most money on to make. This is the one that our attorneys went through and sent back and forth with us. And so the chief's contract is probably the best contract that we have from the three contracts. It's the most recent contract. And so we would like to be able to make them all have the same writing, the same rules and the same everything.
Except
all
for the
three,
salary.
except for the salaries themselves.
And how would you?
The salaries
exactly
would
have
be,
one?
the salaries would go just the way, the salaries would, I mean, the chiefs is a little bit different, right? But I think everything will just sort of coincide with each other on that. Each salary will be a little bit different because every contract's gonna be a little bit different. I mean, not contract, but like
Yeah.
somebody's, what they know, what their value is, each employee's.
They don't
as
have
you
like a different
hire.
section for,
If you'll recall in the budget process, we started the salary schedule as part of the budget. So those salary amounts are listed in the budget, and the salaries would have to fall in within those categories for each particular job. So the salary listed on each contract is going to be dependent upon the job that they're getting hired for. But the rest of the contract language would be the same for each employee.
Yeah.
It's just the language.
Yeah, it's the language. So like right now you have 3 different contracts with 3 different languages. And like the terms, if you just look at just the terms language is different. And so I'd like to just make it like all 3 of them have the same language. So employee A, employee B, and employee C, they all have to follow the same rules. You know, their contracts are all the same. And so that's what I'd like to do. If it's good with you guys, I'd really like to do that. I think that for the city, it would be easier. Then when if something happens and we're out looking for somebody, there's no, okay, what are we gonna pay? No, these are the amounts. We're gonna stay within this amount. We can't go outside these amounts, and that's that. But the language itself, like the COLAs are all different, that, you know, merit, they're different and they shouldn't be. I think if one person can get 4% COLA, then why is another staff only allowed 3? Because they all work.
They're all the same. It says up to 5%. Doesn't mean they all should get the 5 or 4, but it's all say 5%.
Because those are the matching ones.
Oh, these are the matching ones?
Right, these
You
are
guys
the
already
matching
changed
ones.
it?
We haven't changed it. They're not signed yet.
Well, right. But this is gonna be like changed as to
Right.
be, oh, okay. Well, we don't have the old ones then to compare.
They're in here. No, it's not. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, these are not matching ones. These are the original contracts for each of them.
No, these are matching.
Correct.
No, they're not because
No,
this
they're
one,
not the same.
the chief's volume read the part with the deferred compensation. He says Leo FF2 retirement system. The other 2 say PERS 2.
Well, because we're in different
Oh,
categories.
yeah, they're in different.
Trying to
requirements.
match. I'm
But
trying to
what I'm
match them.
looking at is what I'm looking at is the terms.
For example, and I could go get the other contracts if for the council meeting if you would want to, but I can give you a couple examples of the differences if you'd like. My contract and Sylvia's contract were not automatically renewable. So they were 3-year contracts and they expired and that was the end of it. Whereas this contract that we're trying to change to, which is the same one that the chief has automatically renewable without notice. Which is important
Oh.
when you're looking at having longevity employees. You want employees who are gonna stay with you. And so having a contract that expires that has to go back for council approval every 3 years does not necessarily encourage longevity in your employees. Then another difference was whether or not we could cash out upon termination, if we would be able to get cashed out for our accrued leave. My contract had a cap on that amount, whereas Sylvia's and the chief's did not. And these are things that I have to report with our annual report every year for potential liabilities. And so it made it very difficult for me to go through each contract and figure out what the exact stipulations were for everybody, because they were all different. And then there was a couple other things, but the merit percentage, mine was capped at 4%. Sylvia's was capped at 3%, while the chief's was capped at 5%. And as Sophie said, that doesn't mean you have to give 5%,
Right.
but just that the cap would be the same for everybody across the board. And I believe that those are the three main changes from one contract to the other. I can't think of anything
amounts
else.
of the contracts will always depend on the individual person.
Well, right, but
It will never, it'll never carry over, what your pay is, depends on you as an individual and what you're doing. Do you guys have any questions, Diana?
No.
Do you have any questions, TD or Vera?
so we'll get to see the old ones and the new one that you want to make up. Because I heard the part where you said automatic increases.
Not increases,
Um,
renewal of the contract.
Oh, renewal of the contract.
If you look at the term on number 2 here, where it says the term of this agreement shall commence on June 1st, 2020 and terminate on June 1st of 2023. It shall automatically renew for 1-year periods unless either party provides notice. The chief's contract is the only one that has that language. Sylvia and my contract right now just stop at will expire,
So this is automatic renewal, but just for 1 year, not for 3 years again.
which just means, that it's
Yeah.
perpetually renewed unless either party gives notice. So then it becomes just like a regular employment. You're just an employee, you know what I mean? You're giving notice, you're still have to adhere to the contract. And it will just continue in perpetuity until you guys decide to end that contract.
Okay, we don't have to decide now though, right? I would like to see the old ones compared to the new ones. Yeah.
That's fine.
Do we have some that are up already that we need to renew?
Yes, and that's mine. That's why
So
I'm
it's
asking
up
from
for
my
renewal.
contract.
The 20th of December.
No, the 1st of
Oh,
December.
the 1st of December, sorry, because it goes back.
So
to-
we gotta do it now?
Would
Yours?
that be up to
Well,
you?
for hers, we have to do it now.
Is it in here? To
Yes.
do today's on the agenda now?
It is
Oh,
on the
okay.
it's on the agenda.
Okay, so, is there anything else, guys, anything you want to talk about? Okay, then we'll go ahead and, finish this study session at 6